All right, guys, I am live on TikTok. How you guys doing tonight? Well, today, this afternoon, anyways. I wanted to go live to kind of have a little bit of fun and also to invite all of you to have a conversation with me. So the title of the stream is "Cops Don't Protect You," and I've got recently challenged to a debate of sorts on YouTube, and some people have asked me to debate my tactics on doing, I guess, making videos in terms of criticizing police officers. And the first question that I want to ask is, what are my tactics and why are they so bad? And the one thing that I've noticed is that when it comes to police officers, my tactics are just overall, I find that they're actually effective. I find that they actually work. I think that's what a lot of these people find issue with, is that they don't really find themselves being as effective, and so they are upset with that, and they want to tell me about myself, so to speak. They feel there's certain people out there who feel that my channel targeting police officers and making so many videos about them makes police officers nervous, makes them upset, makes them uncomfortable, and it makes it so that their job is harder. And my response to that is very, very simple. Me criticizing someone when they make my burger wrong is never seen as a bad thing. So how come a person who carries a badge and a gun and military armor, and military armor, why is it that I should suddenly feel sorry for them when I criticize them? I noticed that when it comes to police officers, you could say something like all lawyers are greedy people who just want money. No one's going to say anything. You could say that Comcast customer service is trash, and no one's going to say anything. You could say that politicians are all greedy people who want money and just take money from lobbyists. No one's going to say anything. But suddenly, when it comes to police officers, it's hashtag not all. Hashtag not all. And I must say, that is not only irritating, but it's very, very telling. Okay, so I'm going to invite the person that wants to debate me on YouTube, invite them on TikTok. Let's see if they'll come and join. Let's see if they'll have a conversation. Tolbear reports this because you can't claim that all of them are bad. I absolutely can. I can. I've already demonstrated it. And I'm waiting for someone to give me a counter argument that's actually worthwhile, like something that isn't like it's a racial slur or just something that's just a freaking slogan. Actual facts and evidence, because when I do my deep dives, you will see statistical evidence. Okay, well, Tolbear Report, if you make that claim again, I'm not going to have you in the chat, okay? Because I've already done the deep dives. Now, if you haven't seen the videos, that's on you, but you can't just make that claim when I just said that. All right, it's not going to be that kind of chat. The one thing that I've noticed that people do on TikTok, they do a whole lot of making stock accounts, and they're actually larger creators in your chat trying to bring you down, trying to gaslight you in the freaking chat. And I just don't really appreciate that. Right. So my thing is just I've demonstrated in several ways that police officers can't be trusted. I can make the claim that all individual cops are bad if I see where your police chief or your sheriff is actually trash, then I can say your whole department is trash. You want to know why? Because I'm judging it by military standards. If I see a colonel or a general jacked up, then I'm going to say that whole unit is jacked up. Now, if I'm judging it from a military standard, then you don't really have a counter argument, because that is military standard. Now, if you disagree with that, then you gotta go. Okay. I'm not saying that it's a black thing. No, I'm not saying that whatsoever. It's not a black or white thing. It's not a race thing. Police officers are trash in general, because what you're noticing is that when I look at the federal consent decrees across the country, it covers most of the land areas in the U.S., from LA to NYPD to Seattle to Chicago, you name it. But yeah, it's all cops at this point. I've worked around enough cops to know it's all cops at this point. It's the idea that there's this bad apple thing, right? But the question is, how do so many bad apples operate without the help of their comrades? How does that happen? How do you have perpetual corruption in a place, but you don't see the problem with the average one, right? I don't see you letting Catholic priests babysit your freaking children, and that's for a reason. And you're not saying that all Catholic priests are, they touch kids. You're not saying that. But what you're saying is based on what we've been seeing. Then there's a problem. There is a problem there. And the fact that people can't concede that's what makes the whole ACAB position that much more entrenched. If you would just simply concede small points, maybe it wouldn't go so extreme. Because if you are defending, we have people out there defending bad cops. So when you defend bad cops, right? How do I know what a good cop looks like? If every cop is a freaking good cop, then they're all bad then. Must be. Because you are uniformly calling them all good. You're saying, well, there's more good and bad. That is a generalization by itself. How the hell do you know that? But I went through the actual stats, the actual evidence, and cops don't have a constitutional duty to even protect you. In fact, if you look at the actual stats, most times when they show up, the crime has already been committed. They come after the fact. So what I don't tolerate is nonsense in my chat. Right? Right? Because I go through the actual statistical evidence, and I'm just not interested in the lies. I'm not interested. I can't do that. Great
Hey,
vibe. How you doing?
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Hold on one sec. Hey, so I'm just trying to understand what you were saying as far as with you said cops they don't protect us. What do you mean by that?
Literally by the stats, they don't. And I've done deep dives on that. Now see, watch this. Garbage Can Juice says, should we generalize every race like that? Do you see what I mean? Did I even mention race? No. So they make it about race because I'm black. So when you argue on behalf of these people, you are siding with them. I'm just letting you know. Whether it's fair or unfair, that's what it is.
So what stats are you pulling from?
I've done deep dives to demonstrate that cops don't actually protect you. It's from Bowling Green State University, also from the Washington Post, New York Times, and also from the FBI. When you actually look at the data overall from all police departments across the country for the past 15 years, since and I think the actual study started from 2019, going back to 2004. And what you notice with that, with Bowling Green State University, much of their cop data is from 2005 to 2016. What they're finding is that only 4 to 6% of all calls, period, right, have anything to do with an actual violent crime. And of those calls, they never stop crimes, almost never. So when I say they don't protect you, you can't disagree with that. That's facts. They don't.
Okay. So I was a cop for 12 years, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is very invalid. So that's why I asked you.
The point
that's
that I'm
I asked you where you get your numbers from.
Right. Well, I pulled it from Bowling Green State University, and I also pulled it from when I did my deep dive on TikTok that got about 21,000 views. I pulled it from Bowling Green State, the FBI, and the actual departments because I'm actually from South Carolina, so I traveled to all 50 states. This is basically why you can Google my first and last name and actually pop up on actual articles because my research is one of a kind. I went across the country to actually prove to you that cops are for the most part trash, and I actually demonstrated that. And with it, the way that I actually showed that was pulling all the data from the federal consent decrees, right? So a federal consent decree is a agreement that's actually done in federal court between a federal judge, a city, and its department. And that decree only comes when you are bad enough, where the federal government has to intervene. There are currently 32 departments under such a decree that includes departments such as the NYPD, LAPD, Chicago PD, Seattle PD, 6 different departments in Ohio, several in Florida, several in Arizona, one in Texas. And when you actually add up the actual patrolling areas of all those departments. It covers most of the actual country. That's why I can say cops are trash. That's facts. And now we can go look it up on my desktop. I can actually flip the actual aspect, and I can actually show you on my desktop that everything that I just said is true.
So you came to the conclusion.
There's no, sir,
hold
sir,
on,
sir.
whoa,
I presented numbers to you.
Hold on, no, listen. So you came to the conclusion, and you're telling me my face, cops are trash.
Yeah. Based on my evidence. If there were evidence, if there were evidence that were contrary to what I'm saying, then you could present it. But if I presented evidence that people have put into actual academic papers, University of Washington, yes, sorry, sir, that's kind of hard to go back on.
No, partner, you don't owe me no apology. You know what I'm saying? Because you got your own opinion on what you're.
That's not an opinion. What did I say? That was an opinion,
sir. You got your own opinion on what you're saying.
I asked you a question, sir.
I worked in one of the most high crime cities, which here in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
One of the highest crime cities. And put out this idiotic concept that you said all cops, right?
Excuse me, sir. I didn't go there. I didn't go there with you. So I'm gonna ask you to be very, very respectful.
Because if you're gonna talk this many people, make sure
sir,
that when you're speaking this
when
stuff,
you
when
sir,
you're speaking this stuff,
don't make it about me. Make it about the point, sir.
Don't put.
Make the point, sir. What is your point? Do you have something to not agree with me or not with on? Yes or no?
Hey man, don't overtalk me. Okay.
I'm asking you a question. You're making it about me. Don't personally attack me. Make it about the point, sir.
I'm pointing at you because you putting this information out here.
Sir, I'm gonna tell you one more time. Make it about the point.
Don't tell me how to say.
Not me.
If
okay, well, goodbye, sir. You can have a good day. Because when you start personally attacking me, and I say, hey, make it about the point, make it about the point. That's it. I don't want to hear your going on about your feelings. I don't care. I gave you facts. You see how when I go into the actual numbers, I start naming the institutions, I start naming the actual studies, the actual numbers, the actual facts, right? He didn't want to discuss that. He wanted to make it about me. Make it about me. See, and that's the problem. There's so many people out here who are so emotional when it comes to police officers. I was a police officer before. Well, that makes you biased, sir. That makes you biased, sir. That makes you biased. You understand that you are a cop and you're going to be favorite cops. Well, I work law enforcement and I'm not in favor of cops. That means that I'm probably not as biased as you are. And you can't come at me saying, well, you don't know what it's like to be a cop. You don't know what it's like to be in freaking danger. Spent 4.5 years in combat, sir. I'm ready at 100%. The VA. Try again. Try again. There's no danger that you saw as a cop that I didn't see 10 times over, sir. Try again. I was rated at 100% before age 30. Try again. Try again. There's nothing, not a thing you have seen as an officer that I haven't seen 20 times over. And on top of that, I did my job that was way more dangerous and was held to a higher standard while doing it. So based on that, I will say cops are trash. And if you don't like that, well, don't be so emotional. You know, facts over feelings. Right? Don't be fragile. These are only words. You can simply ignore them. Right? The same way you told me to ignore Joe Rogan, right? You told me to ignore Joe Rogan, Gina Carano, everybody else, right? Ignore my words. You don't have to be in this live stream. You could be somewhere else, correct? Correct? Right? So, my thing is, Deanna Alvarez, you can hop on too. What's going on?
Nothing
So
much.
tell me.
We never spoke on live before. I'm a couple weeks ago, I think we just spoke briefly on that video that had to do with that guy getting slapped down in Sumter, and I was telling you that I'm from South Carolina too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just like we never actually spoke before. I was just letting you know.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, that I grew up in Sumter. But anyway, yeah, I've only been on for 5 minutes, and I wanted to join with the gentleman just now because before you, a couple of minutes before you actually booted him, I was trying to just get on and explain the point that obviously he didn't understand what a debate was, and he was just talking through emotions and not any facts. So I love talking to people like that. But
Well,
you kicked him
it
off
was
too
very
fast,
very
so
easy. It was very very easy. Um, it was very very easy. I mean, it's like I knew it was gonna get very very emotional. I was like, okay, this is why from the very very beginning I said let's stick to facts, hard numbers. Don't make it about me. And
mhm,
he's like, well, I feel personally attacked. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you feel personally attacked in the debate. You have to stick to attacking the points. This is why I kept discussing facts and evidence. I never brought up the fact that he was a freaking police officer. He brought that up. I never personally attacked him. He could not handle the numbers. And that's the problem.
exactly. And I would just like to bring up on kind of a tangent, anybody who's watching right now and listening, like, don't jump into debate TikTok if you can't actually debate. Like, it's just, I don't know. If you just want to sit there and talk about feelings and argue with people, there's a different side for that. But some of us, like some people might be in your comments right now, they might have seen me talk before. Like some of us actually debate for real. So be careful about who you jump on with when you just want to sit there and argue.
Right.
But anyway,
Right. The other
go ahead.
thing okay, so the other thing that I find interesting is that people um it's very interesting, right? Like when you have these people who are clearly not what they appear, right? Like that guy, I knew that guy, he's just making content to make content to get views. Because if you're a black person and you go on the internet and says, "Hey, I'm pro Trump or I'm pro police or I'm pro this and pro that," people are going to watch you,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's what people want. There's a whole society of people out there who will give super chats, who will sit there and give money. Speaking super chats, still on freaking YouTube, but they'll give money just to have a black person to say stuff. And you want to know how I know that? I actually met Candace Owens. I
Mm.
actually met her. I met Candace Owens. I met Candace Owens, and I actually know Anthony Brian Logan. And I talked to them both, and I'm gonna tell you, they don't actually believe the stuff that they're saying. They're only
I'm
saying
glad
it
you actually said that
because
because one of my goals
yeah.
on here at some point, I don't even know if she's on here at all, but one of my goals was to be able to talk to Candace Owens on a live and just and really find out for my own, like, does she believe the things that she says? Because I always felt like I didn't really believe that she believes her talking points. Now I know a lot of people just think if somebody says something, obviously they believe it. But with her
Mhm.
and knowing a little bit about her background, start with the whole thing in high school, I kind of always felt like it's
Do you know about
just
social
about money
autopsy?
and nothing else. What's that?
Do you know about social autopsy?
No.
Okay, let me tell you about social autopsy. Okay, so Candace
Okay.
Owens, she has a problem with she didn't like it when people was bullying her, and so some years
Yeah,
before
I know about that
she was known
situation.
as
Yeah. Yeah.
she was known as Red Pill Black. She took her right wing turn. She was a leftist, and so she made this website that was designed to dox people, like
Mm,
literally dox people.
mm,
And she tried to separate herself from that particular website. But the problem with that is that her name was on it. She showed up in actual advertisements and everything else.
mm,
So whenever I bring this up, right, people are like, "Well, that happened a long time ago." I'm like, "Well, once someone is doxxed, that's forever,"
mhm.
you know. So I know she's fake. It's just amazing how much people are willing to pay just to hear someone tell them something that they already believe who happens to be black. It is
Oh
the
yeah.
weirdest thing in the world. It's the weirdest thing in the world. And that's why I tell black folks all the time, if you want to make some money, go to YouTube and just talk like a freaking Republican. Even if you don't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
It was.
Keith Enoch, how you doing?
No,
I'm feeling good. How you doing, Devil? What's the word for the day, brother?
What's the word? I was having a debate just now with a brother who was a police officer. He didn't care for what
Right
I had to
wing, of
say.
course.
I'm just gonna I didn't he didn't care for what I had to say.
Of
And so
course.
pretty much he was pretty upset with me.
Of course.
I
Of course.
understand.
Of course it does.
I understand.
But you know how right wing is, man. Right wing is convinced some people that it has their best interests at heart, but it doesn't have shit at heart. The right wing is only thinking about itself, man, and it's only the elites of the right wing that think about the whole. I don't understand how do you get dragged into that shit. I don't know. I can't imagine how you get dragged in.
You know
You
what?
can lean left, but once you hit that fucking wing, man, you're done. You've been bamboozled. So and I don't get on the right, I don't get on the left either, man. But if you have to get on a wing, man, the further out on that wing you get, the more that fucking plane tips. So the more weight you put on that wing, it starts to tip, and eventually the plane hits the ground, it explodes, and the whole disgusting ball of wax blows the fuck up, man. I just don't understand how you get sucked in. I don't.
You know
Even if you're a cop.
You know what's
Yeah.
interesting? Just a couple nights ago, and with me, even though I'm off and on like pretty heavy on debate TikTok, and it just happens to be that I end up usually debating conservatives. I'm apolitical. I don't care about politics. I don't really follow any politics. I don't really know much about politics. I don't care. I only voted once in my whole life, and I'm 41. I'm about to be 42 like next month. And but it just happens to be that my views and opinions on certain things don't come from like the left or anything like that, but it just happens to be that it's not the same it's not the same views in life and stuff like that as most conservatives. But anyway, since I debate a lot of conservatives in general, because it just happens to end up that way, me and a mutual were talking the other night, and she was talking about how she really wants to reach out to black conservatives because she wants to try to like reel them in, I guess, or whatever, because she started talking about cults, and she was talking about how it just takes like one little thing to make a person feel like they're not accepted in society. And she was
Mm-hmm.
comparing that to a black conservative, where a black conservative may have had a situation when they were younger where just because of the one thing, because, like they didn't want to date somebody of their own race, and other black people started attacking them all the time. And that just pushed them into a mindset that made them want to be accepted. And the people who would accept them would be conservatives, and then it just went from there. Like that's how it starts. And she said, like, just as an example, it could be about anything. It could be something as small as a black person that loves country music, and all the black people they know starts picking on them about it. But the conservatives they know or whatever are okay with it, and that starts edging them into this whole situation of acceptance, and then just goes further and further and further until the next thing you know, they're just super right wing and all this stuff, and I don't even know all the political terms or whatever. But
Well,
she was talking about how she wants to speak to more black conservatives and try to bring them back. I myself am like, I feel like that's stupid. But
you you
I
you know
kind
what
of
it is
I
though.
was interesting about the point of how she was talking about how it's like a cult, to where at some point a lot of these black conservatives just felt like black people turned on them for one little thing, and that's why they went a certain way. And despite if they're stuck over there or not, it all started with one little thing. I just thought that part was interesting, what she was explaining to me. Whether you can reel people back or not, I don't know. Probably not. She
Do
said
you
she would
think
try
Candace
to,
Owens
but
is coming back? Do you really
no,
think there's a
no, she's
there's
getting
any
paid.
chance that
She's
Candace
getting
can
paid
come back?
way too much. She's
She's
getting
done.
paid way too much. But even with her, though, I do believe that something happened with her too, to where she just like went to one side and started going and going. But she gets so much money. Fuck no. There's no way to bring her back.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, she can.
Yo.
And the right wing is always talking about like, and the reason why they're doing what they're doing and they're giving these people support is so they can say, listen, hey guys, we're not completely fucking racist. There's somebody here with melanin. They have melanin. They agree with us. So we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing because this person with melanin is telling us that we're not racist and that our views are correct. Your views are fucked up. They are racist and you're full of shit. They are. Yeah, I'm sure there
Yeah.
are proud white ringers out there. I just don't understand how you join something or you align with the school of thought, right? If I want to think something that people are telling me, oh, you're brainwashed. I'm not left, asshole. So I'm not brainwashed. I don't assign myself a fucking wing. I take the data that I've acquired myself. And then I look at things and I see, damn, this left wing shit is off the rails. And then I look at this right wing shit and it's even more off the rails than the left wing shit. But I'm not gonna kick one evil and then join the other evil. If they're both fucked
Right.
up, I'm gonna go ahead and use my own. I'm gonna use my own brain, my own mind, and my own intellectual acuity to discern the things that are good and bad. And I'm not going to align myself with some shit that's just completely ridiculous. Like
I
it's
like what you're
ridiculous.
thinking. I like what you're saying. Here's why I like what you're saying, right? The main issue that I have are these people who are stands, right? Like last night, I had the most frustrating debate in the world with a black Democrat. She was an older woman. She
Uh,
was pro Biden and she was pro police. I'm like, you are an older black woman who's pro police. Do you realize the sixth leading cause of death for black men in America is actually the police? I know when I say that it sounds ridiculous, but then I actually had to go look up the actual stats on that. I'm like, listen, when you support them, that's what you're supporting. But I could not get her off the Democratic plantation. And the problem with that, as soon as I say that, right, people are going to label me right wing. And it's like, I don't like Trump. I don't like the right either. I can't stand Republicans.
yeah,
But the thing
yeah.
about it is that I am an actual free thinker. I don't like parties. I don't care for political cheerleading stuff. Do you want to know why?
Mm,
The main
Talk to me.
reason why, because once you start becoming a cheerleader, you become a Dallas Cowboys fan, whereas it doesn't matter the condition of the team, you're still going to go for them.
There you go. There you
I was
go.
just
I'm
about to
so
say
I
glad
the
don't want to
somebody
be
reason
else.
a political Cowboys fan.
I
I
and I was going to
refuse.
say,
Yeah.
yeah, the same reason why, like, I'm not political at all, or don't want to talk about politics and don't want to learn about politics and don't care. Just like with religion, all these things are people's opinions, and therefore, I feel like anytime that two people want to have a conversation or a debate, if you can't talk about something without bringing up your politics or your religion, then you have nothing to stand on in the first place. And that's why I try to force people, even with cops. Well, if I was talking to that gentleman before you, I was only in for a couple minutes before you booted him. So I don't even know
Right.
if you guys spoke about politics or not. But somebody like him, I could probably go back and forth with him for a whole 30 minutes straight. And if he brought up politics, then it's already over. Like, what are you talking about politics? Like, it's not a political thing to say cops are good or bad, or if they do good things or bad things. That's not about politics. So if somebody's going to equate that to politics, they don't know what they're talking about in the first place.
Yeah, it's a
Just
false
period.
equation. It's a false
Yeah, just
dichotomy.
period.
I don't know how you bring this person is bad, therefore political party. What the fuck does that even mean? It sounds like that's
Right, right.
nonsense.
I want to point out one thing. When Joe Biden gave his State of the Union freaking speech, right, and he said we shouldn't defund the police. We should fund the freaking police. It wasn't just Democrats who got up and freaking clapped. It was freaking Republicans too. They both clapped, which lets you know when two parties who clearly don't care about you agree. That's when you
Agree.
should worry.
There's a
That's it.
problem. Yeah, you're
That's it.
completely right. And I didn't even know, when did the State of the Union happen? Yesterday? Because I'd never even heard about that
No,
until a
no, it
couple hours
happened
ago.
like a week ago, and I actually watched it. And let me go ahead and tell you, Joe Biden scares me, and here's
Uh,
why he scares me.
to
Right?
death.
Here's why he scares me, because it is for the exact reason why Barack Obama scares me. It's not that he's a bad person, it's that he makes being right wing acceptable to the left parts of the country. That's what makes him dangerous. It's that he's
Yeah.
shifting the freaking Overton window to the right, and we're not even noticing. We, the general American public, if you actually explain the issues, do you want healthcare? Yes. Do you want your guns? Yes. Do you want free speech? Yes. Do you want to be spied on? No. If you actually break down the issues, we're actually pretty left. It's actually the government who are far right nutcases. That's why you have militarized freaking police. That's why we spend so much money on freaking different countries defending them, giving them weapons that we don't even allow our own citizens to have. We gave the Taliban fully automatic AK-47s, but you want to tell me that I can't own a 30-round magazine? Screw off.
And
But
and we
but
shipped
but
that
but
shit
that's
to him.
what we. Yeah,
We gave it to him.
it's wild. It's wild.
We
A
didn't just
large
give it to them.
number.
We gave it to them over 9 years. Over 9 years, we shipped 40 million automatic weapons to people that would gladly turn those motherfuckers on us
A lot of
and lay waste to us.
a large percentage of our country, which I'm assuming. Well, I know you're from the United States, but I'm assuming who was that in the box, Keith? I'm
Okay,
assuming
yeah.
you're in the United States too, right? I'm
I'm a United
assuming.
States Marine, brother.
Oh, okay.
He's well known actually.
Oh,
He's
okay.
actually got
Okay.
news articles
Not,
written about it.
not for the
He's well
Oh,
known.
that's what's up.
not for good reasons though, man. Not
Oh,
necessarily
that's
for good
okay.
reasons, but
But
yeah,
but
yeah.
I
I'm
was
well
just gonna
known across
say
the country, man.
the
Unfortunately,
ignorance of so many people in our country and how so many people are literally walking contradictions because there's a huge percentage, and like I said, I don't even like to talk about politics, so I'm not even going to say necessarily conservatives or right wingers or whatever. Just a large percentage of people in the United States, like for instance, one example is they are 100% so pro 2A, which I am too. Obviously, I live in
yeah,
Montana right now. Everybody has
yeah.
firearms. Everybody should. And I'm a vet
Montana's
also.
nice, man.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. I've been here for like, damn, almost 15 years now, I think. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it's pretty nice out there.
a large percentage of our country is pro 2A, which everybody should be.
Yeah.
But a large number of this large percentage of people are also super pro bootlickers, which doesn't make any sense. Because if you're worried about the government coming out and taking your firearms, which will never happen in the first place, but if
No.
that's an actual real fear of yours, and somebody decides one day to sign a paper and say, let's go to everybody's house and take away their legal firearms, who the fuck do you think is going to come to your house?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cops.
How many people do you have? You have a city of 400,000 people. Um, um, 310,000 have guns. There are 1,212 police officers. Which one of you motherfuckers is coming to the door to get it? Which one of you? I mean, like you tell me which one of you
Well, we know
1,000
it's not going to
motherfuckers is gonna walk on
happen.
my block?
But if the government decided to come and take everybody's firearms, it's literally the people who they just lick their boots all day and night, and they could do no wrong. These are the people that would end up coming to their door, and then supposedly then they're going to fight them too because that's what they always say. Like I
Yeah,
dare it
okay.
to happen.
Can I
But I
make
thought you
one?
loved them so
Can I make
much.
one quick announcement? Sabrina, I see you in the chat. Justice for Timmy Henley. Timmy Henley was somebody who was his life was taken by a police officer. Cop lie and are corrupt. Sabrina, I love you. I want you to be safe out there and always give me a shout out, and I'll always give you a shout out. But go ahead, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, but just saying real
I just
quick.
love her.
Yeah, yeah, it's just the whole hypocrisy in this situation, and then also with the whole, less government, less government, less government, but yet you want the government to be more strict on everything that you don't like. It makes no sense.
How
And
you
and
sucking toes
the
for
fact
something
that
you want to keep?
yeah, the fact that we have such a large percentage of American citizens that are just so hypocritical on so many different lines of thought is actually kind of scary. This is one of the reasons why y'all see me here on TikTok and stuff and not walking around outside and shit like that because I don't trust people. I go outside to make money. Other than that, I'm like right here most of the time because a large percentage of the people that we live around are fucking stupid, first of all, and ignorance can turn into anything. You know what I mean?
We challenged them, man. They tried us over here, man. And I guess in some of these other states, right, that people are so they don't understand what it's like to have the streets run red. So I challenged these police officers, and I found out, listen, and they if you call their bluff, man, they're not willing to try to take you on. Like we outnumber you. Our weapons are better, and if you try this shit, if you give it a shot right now, like I'm standing here looking at you, you standing here looking at me, you'll challenge that dude in that fucking car. But the dude standing on the street telling you, I wish you would, if you put your fucking hand on your holster, dude, I'm gonna light you. I'm all of you. I'm gonna take at least 10 of you before I go. So they're not willing to do that, and I wouldn't want to ever do that. It's nonsense to me for me to
But
find another
the
American
point is the
and say
willingness. The
I
point is
want
the
to hurt
willingness.
this American. I
The
wouldn't want
point
to
is the
hurt that dude.
willingness and the training. Exactly. You know, it's like, you know, and that's another thing. And I know we're talking about one subject, but just in general with adult people in the world and how stupid so many people are, I try to explain to people all the time, like, you don't know anything about the person that you're talking to right now. That's why even when I'm hardcore in debates, just like you said, the gentleman before, I didn't even catch exactly what he said, but he started personally attacking you and trying to make it about you. You know, no matter how much you agree or disagree with somebody, why do you have to pivot and start talking about them? Why can't you just stay on the subject? You know, what if you do trigger them? You don't know that person on the other side of the screen or whatever. You don't know what they're capable of. You don't know if they actually live in the next city over, but you just assume that they live 3,000 miles away. I remember back in the 90s and late 80s and stuff, you would talk about people and you didn't necessarily have to have the same class with them, but they might show up at your house after school, at your house, knocking on your door. And then at that point, something's going to happen. It seems like a large percentage of our society forgot about that. And it's not just the younger generation, because one could argue, you know, people under a certain age just probably don't realize that things could be like that. That's true. But people over a certain age, because of the internet, have completely forgot about it. And it's strange to me. It's a little bit weird. You know what I mean?
So you've been in conflict before? Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I just wanted to know if you'd ever been in conflict with them before.
With the police?
Yes, sir. Like real conflict, not them harassing you, but like in conflict with those motherfuckers.
Actually, no, I never had. And see, that's the thing too. I'm not going to sit here and say because it's never happened to me, it doesn't happen all the motherfucking time. And at any point in time, it can happen to me. The most that ever happened was shortly after I moved to Montana. I was in a small town at first, and I was here for no, it wasn't shortly after. Sorry, it's shortly after I moved to the city that I live in right now. I was at my girlfriend's house, and I worked an overnight shift, and I came home. Honestly, I started drinking. Tomorrow I'll be 11 weeks sober, by the way. But anyway, I started drinking.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I started drinking after my overnight shift, so got pretty lit up. Plus, I'm diabetic. Passed out in the car on my driveway. You know, and one of these Karens called the cops saying that I was in my car asleep at 10 in the morning, which is nobody's business, on my driveway. Anyway, they show up. I just happened to go in the house, not knowing that anybody called them or anything. I just happened to wake up and go in my house literally 3 minutes before they pull up. But they pull up 3 or 4 cars deep, and they're knocking on the door, and I come to the window, and I'm like looking through the window like, yes. And they're like, hey, we got a call on you, blah, 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 blah. And a 20-minute conversation back and forth happens where they're just trying to talk me into coming outside. And I'm like, for what? What the fuck am I coming outside for? Like, what the fuck is wrong? And it ended up after about 20 minutes. And I started saying to them, like, I don't even fucking know y'all. You're strangers. There's like 8 of you, and you're strangers standing in my fucking yard. Grown-ass men with firearms. I don't know any of you. Why would I come outside? That doesn't even make sense. They're like, we're cops. We want to make sure you're all right. No, you're fucking strange grown-ass men standing in my yard, and everybody's armed. I finally told them at a certain point, fine, I will come outside. But if I come outside, I'm coming out with a firearm because I don't feel safe because I don't know any of you. And then that's when the one that kept going back and forth with me walked away. They all huddled for a second. All right, sir, have a nice day. Got in their fucking cars and left. That's the most actual conflict I had with them. That's the most actual conflict.
I'm gonna tell y'all something wild that I probably shouldn't say because but I'm gonna tell you this. And Keith, you're gonna be particularly interested. No, we're not. I'm not gonna get flagged. But me and the Black Panther Party, we showed up to Lakewood PD here in Washington State. We did it about 2.5 weeks ago, and we showed up there. We were fully armored. We had we had all the toys. And I'm not going to mention who was actually there, but it was the combined Black Panther Party and the Panther Party, who is the White Panthers here. And we showed up out there, and we were protesting the police killing of Manny Ellis, and which is basically the Tacoma's version of George Floyd. So basically, what happened with that incident is that we showed up out there, and we were so militarized to the point where the cops got scared, really scared, especially when I showed up. They knew exactly who I was. and they understand what I'm trying to do. And I was kind of pacing. I was getting a little bit upset. So they had a talk with my Minister of Defense, and now officially every new cop in Lakewood in Washington State will be trained by my Minister of Defense on conscious and unconscious bias from now on.
No shit. Like we got
Yes, for the first time in state history.
Oh shit! Our cops are you know like I said, that our cops are. We now have instead of the DA holding the cops account. After that little incident that we had, man, now the police are now run by a civilian review board of our citizens who
Wow.
determine
Yeah.
whether or not they did something wrong or whether they didn't. It's not up to the DA. It's not up to the motherfucking judge. If the civilian review board deems that they did something wrong, because listen, man, that would have been a really horrifying deal, man. I don't know how. There were probably 10 or 11 Marines out there with me at the time, and we were just like, dude, y'all not going, dude. If y'all do this, even one more motherfucking canister of whatever the fuck that shit is that you spraying out that thing, if it hits another human being, I don't know how many of us are going home today. I don't, because we're not gonna do this no more, man. So the mayor ended up telling us, hey, we'll just put a civilian review board so we don't have to worry about this shit. It won't be the police with their DA buddy and the police chief who hangs out with the DA on the weekends and has barbecues trying to charge officers. No, it'll be you guys. And I decided not to even try to join the civilian review board myself because of I would assume that I would have an inherent bias because obviously I don't want to join anything and I have a bias towards anything. I want
Right.
everybody to be as fair as they possibly can be. I want it to be mixed white and black. I want it to be mixed with professionals and people who who actually may know something about law enforcement, legal, and people who just work regular fucking jobs, man. And I'm not the guy. I'm a little too militant, man. You know what I mean? And while I do,
Right.
I do. For the most part, I say back to blue. I don't say ever that in total. I can't do anything in totality. There are caveats to everything, and the minute you breach that line, man, I side with the people. Always, 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 always side with the people. I never take their side over the people, man. So when you start kicking on my citizens, man, dude, I turn on you and I drop your motherfucking ass just like that, just like that.
Right. Because that's just how it is, man. Like people don't get how veterans are. Like we. So I want you to understand something. Well, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the audience.
Yes,
The
sir.
audience has to understand that, like veterans, man, we are trained to identify terrorism, and it doesn't. And we're not going to distinguish between Al Qaeda and a police officer. This is why
We don't give a fuck where you
you
from.
had Michael Xavier Johnson. You had what's the Robert Eugene Long, and you had Chris Dorner, all black veterans, and it's a long list of black veterans who saw what police officers were doing and decided, you know what, if you're gonna kill us anyways, then I might as well go ahead and make it worth it.
Yeah, I'm not
See,
gonna go down. I'm not gonna.
that's where I'm trying to not get my guys to, because my guys, unfortunately, because in Washington State, they made it so that cops now have the power to do whatever they want to do. They can stop you for if you are driving, if you are eating, they can stop you. Technically speaking, they can stop you for distracted driving if you're eating.
For a
So
sandwich?
we made it clear. Yes, so we made it clear to Lakewood and Tacoma that if that the first time that we hear that, we're gonna pick a random cop and make a freaking example. You can take that as a freaking threat.
However you want.
I call it a promise. No,
You got
because
it?
I got
Yeah.
access to their entire. They didn't realize who they're messing with. So in my military background, I was a 25 Bravo, and that's actually a military information technology specialist. So I went through their entire database, and I got their whole roster of every cop at Lakewood PD, their home address, their phone number, first, last name, even their families. So I made it
And
clear
you
to
can
them:
dox them.
listen, I won't do anything. But if I find out that you are harassing citizens, then I think that you should be given the exact same treatment. And that will make you stop. It's see that's called mutually assured destruction. See, that's why cops shouldn't go around playing soldier, because then you're gonna actually get soldiers involved. and we're gonna show
Yes.
you that
Yes.
you're not actually that. You're not actually that guy.
Hey man, let me show you how tough
I'm
you
that guy.
really are. Let's show you how.
Yeah.
This is how you do war. Since you want to pretend like you're a warrior, this is how war is done. And this is what I do. I do war. I don't mind the bit, man. I would rather not ever have to do any of that ever again. You know, if
Yeah.
I have
Seriously.
the option to never do it again, and we can live in this. You know, I don't want a utopian society, but a society where we don't have conflict with those who are charged with the safety and well-being of those people who can't fight wars on their own behalf. Do your motherfucking job, dude. Your job is not to
Exactly.
sit there and make money for the fucking state, man. The law isn't written as it's written. It's not for you to make money for the state, for you to pull people over so you can find a way to pull money out of their fucking pocket so you can fund whatever bullshit you got going on for the city, state, or county, or whatever the fuck it is you work for. That's not your fucking job, man. That's not your job.
Mm-hmm.
And I know departments are putting emphasis on making money for the state, but that's not your fucking job. And it's not the purpose of the law, the way the laws are written. They're here for the good, the greater good of the people and its citizens. So speeding, I understand why the fuck we get speeding tickets. I understand why you shouldn't speed. I understand why you shouldn't run red lights, because it puts people in danger. It's not because you're 1.5 feet over that fucking white line. Listen, man, we're not here to charge people for fucking technicalities. We're here because the law has a clear and distinct line for the things that you should do and the things that become dangerous. You being 1 foot over the fucking line is not dangerous. It's I guess it's inconvenient at best. And that's not why the fuck we want to enforce laws for inconvenience. That's nonsense. Nonsense.
I invited someone else on. So Angel Ward, how you doing?
I'm going. Oh, you need me to go, brother?
No. I invited
Okay.
somebody else on.
Hi,
Hey,
How you doing,
everyone.
Angel?
How you doing today, Angel?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good, good. I always take the chance to bring on a lovely lady. Always.
Working it
Oh,
out, man. Working it out.
thank you. Where are you guys from?
I'm from Detroit. You know me, Angel. Come on, man.
Oh, it's Key. Okay.
Damn,
I'm from South Carolina,
I'm from
currently in
So,
Detroit,
Washington
man.
State.
I'm from St. Louis, unfortunately.
Oh,
That's all
Missouri.
right. The Lou ain't bad.
Yes,
Oh
it is.
boy.
What you
Okay, the Lou
talking
is bad. I'm
about?
lying. The Lou is bad. The Lou is bad. The Lou is fucking bad. All right, man. You know,
Well,
I'm trying to
it's
be
getting
nice, man, but the
better.
Lou is fucking bad.
It's getting better.
It's
It's
getting there.
trying.
It's getting somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's getting
we we're in the middle, so we're the center of all the damage.
right.
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Right.
Yeah, you are.
Are you guys excited to hear about some of these Ukrainian refugees who have some interesting backgrounds in terms of don't say the N word, and I'm not saying the N word as in the word that's used to black people. I mean the N word in terms of what them boys in Germany do, because they can
Oh,
flag you on
yeah.
TikTok for that. So
Yeah,
say
that
Yahtzee. Remember.
the
So
Yahtzee
did you hear about
boys.
all the Yahtzees
Mhm.
that's going to be coming over here? Apparently,
Oh,
Yeah.
apparently.
apparently, I
Well,
allegedly.
I to be honest, all this shit, all this stuff seems like a whole setup. It's just like all the it looks like it's a war of who's going to have control. That's basically
Mm-hmm.
what it looked like. And then it's also like trying to distract a lot of stuff. Cuz like
I've
I
been
said,
there. I've been in Ukraine before, and well, I've been outside of Ukraine before. I mean, and as far as those people being, having this overwhelming thing where they're waving their yachts flag all over the place. It just it's not. It's not like that. It's more like that in a couple of the countries that are really, really close to Ukraine. but as far as Ukraine, man, I think they keep it pretty well hidden, kind of like they do here. It
Right.
stays in the background more so than it does. There are some people that have those ties, but they're not out front, and it's not a huge thing over there. It's just not. They ate too much of it back in 1938 and 39 and 40, and a lot of people they refuse to align with the shit now. So you have your little
Do
pockets.
you know that the Ukrainian government recognizes one of their army units as literal neo-Yazis.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do.
That's pretty open. That's pretty out there. That's
Well, I mean, as far as the citizenry, man, I'm talking about the
right,
citizenry as a whole.
right, right.
But that they do have one. They have that unit, man. And I was like, dude, and because they can't, they have this thing where they're trying to be democratic. So as far as there's, I don't know how you can't. That's bad for your society to have an army unit that has its dedication to yachts. I don't know how you don't like nip that shit the fuck in the bud, but they trying to be democratic and their democratic bullshit's gone too far. There are some things that should fucking be outlawed, and that's just the real, man. That's the real.
Are you guys Democrat?
Hell no.
No, I don't like.
No.
Listen, the problem that I have with
side.
Democrats, the problem that I have with Democrats and Republicans is I can't tell the difference anymore.
Yep.
Oh, anymore.
A wing is a
They
wing,
were
man.
just good at hiding it then.
Listen,
there's no
bird got
difference.
two
They
wings.
are both the same. They both support bigots. It just depends on which bigots that they actually like. Like, for example, the Republicans love the American bigots and the Democrats love the Saudi Arabian bigots. So it's just everybody loves bigots.
Yeah,
It just
man.
depends on which country.
I got no love for none of them, man. If we go get a country, let's go get Saudi Arabia, man. Take that motherfucker over and make it to Saudi Arabian States of America,
And on
man,
top
and
of
take
that,
all that shit.
the main issue that I have with both parties is that they have not done right by black people. They have not given us reparations. And my thing is, if you got money for every other country, then I'd rather you spend that money right here by fixing the damage that you have already done. Both parties don't care about us. It is clear.
They never did.
It's clear.
I knew that since I was so-called, as this place wanted me to be a kid. I noticed, like, I don't understand why y'all going by a system that was never meant for you to even go nowhere. It was meant for you to get stuck here.
Little bit different for me, man. It's a little bit different for me in that I've enjoyed a lot of success under this system, man. But as a person who looks at things in the most objective manner that I can, while me and Devil don't always agree on every fucking thing, there's the huge shit where we sit right in the motherfucking chair right next to each other and say, hey, man, you take the left, I take the right, man, and we'll have interlocking sectors of fire, man, because we're going to put this shit the fuck down. It's got to go. It's got to go.
Yeah.
So if the shit jump off and I got to take a plane to Washington, I'm right beside this motherfucker right here, man.
Yeah.
We'll light this bitch up, and that's just that.
Yep. Yeah, because like my thing is that the whole pandemic showed us how much both parties care about us. They sat there and they debated on giving you a stimulus check. It's your money. They debated on giving you your money.
Yeah.
That is some. Listen,
got the fourth one.
That's whole logic.
That is.
We gotta call it
some dumbass shit. That's some stupid shit.
Well, we
gotta call that what it is.
Well, I just came here for one and one only, and I just came here for the planet. If humans want to destroy each other, that's on them.
What do you mean humans? Like, did you? Oh, what'd you say?
I just came to this. One more time? I said I just came to this planet just to help Mother Nature and the Earth. If humans want to destroy themselves, they can destroy themselves.
You're not. Never mind. I'm not getting into that shit today. I don't even know. I don't know what you said.
I get what she's saying. I get what she's saying. She's more into nature, and she thinks that humanity is inherently. You can't really save us. I mean, we've been trying. No. But the one thing that is constant, the one thing that is peaceful, the one thing that is predictable is Mother Nature. It's never done us wrong.
You're right. Nope. Until we shit in her. If we keep shitting in her Cheerios, she's gonna get mad. And she'll take care of shit her damn self. But we keep shitting in her Cheerios.
Mother Nature can correct the human problem overnight.
Oh yeah. She'll get rid of it. She'll stop the cancer, man. She know how to get rid of her own shit.
Because we like people. That's the reason why this system has been going on for a very long time. The universe and nature sees freedom. Y'all allow this to happen. No one can actually interfere. So if we cannot force, or anybody cannot force somebody to go by nature's law or universal law until it's time for karma, then that's a different story.
Time for what?
Karma. When you do,
Karma.
Karma.
if you,
Oh, okay,
yeah, if
cool.
you do too much forcing here, which you're not supposed to be forcing, period, you get karma.
Right.
But this is my thing though. I'm looking at this.
What is it? You got
You want to have things that protect people that need to be protected because everybody ain't no motherfucking warrior, right?
Hmm. That's why you raise your sons to be warriors. You don't raise
Yeah.
them to if you're not raising your sons to be Keith Enoch, you're doing something wrong. Right?
Thank you, man.
it.
Hey man. Hey, I'm gonna log off because I got an echo, brother. I'm gonna log off and come
Got
back.
you. All right, man. Be safe, brother.
Humanity is another entitled passing through.
Yep.
So, well, technically, people. Okay, so like if you look it up, actually, human actually means monster, sea monster, which that was weird because you have to see like this has the definition and then said define, and then you press that, and then it actually has the actual meaning of humans, the meaning of humans,
Sea
which
monster.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it's a lot that has been hidden here, and I was like, oh my gosh, how are y'all going to get to there?
So, if you don't mind me asking, what is your religious beliefs? If you don't mind me asking,
I don't have one. I am
you
for
don't
Mother
have one
Nature, so I guess
from
they
Mother Nature
call this spiritual now.
or
Yeah.
paganism, kind of like,
Well,
or
most
pagan, or
religions
like
kind of.
neo. Right. Go
Huh?
ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I guess some people call it paganism. It's also called neo-paganism, where it's more spiritual and it's more connected to nature.
Yeah, but they have their things that they're doing that they're not supposed to be doing. So I don't know about that. Like I do
Okay.
notice that paganism has been the closest, but then I start noticing every bits and pieces of religion got a bit and piece of a spirituality in them. But then again, people don't know spirituality has been here for a very long time.
Well, it's always been here. I don't know. People have always thought that there was something greater than themselves. I'm just I'm just it confounds me how people think that they know what the fuck it is that's greater than themselves. How you in your human mind in anybody's human mind think that they are the ones that are talking to the thing that is greater. And I'm like, no one can possibly have that. Like if it's so great, you would be able to convey what it is to the next person. And I just don't understand and I don't have the arrogance that it requires for me to say that I know the thing that's making everybody what they are, and I
Well,
talk to it, and it fucking talks to me, and I have some kind of special thing. It bothers the fuck out of me that people are so arrogant as to believe that. It
I
fucks with me.
mean, you can talk to nature if you want to. She don't see you as she hates, well, not, she dislikes worshiping. She do
Mhm.
not like worshiping. She do not like to be called God, and she do not like to be called this. You can actually literally talk to her. She will talk to you if you want to. That's why I said there's no force. If you want to see something, if you want to know, find out about it, you can literally can. But it is up for that person or entity or deity, whatever you want to call yourself. If it's up to you, if you want to actually want to learn it, because they
Okay,
will talk
that
to
sounds
you.
cool. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That seems like that's humble enough as far as I can tell. I just don't get into none of that crazy ass religious shit, man. It fucks with me
Um,
on a regular basis. How
it,
about you, man? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Cat. Hey, man. And I know you don't align yourself with much of that shit. But if you had to
take your
say
time.
one thing or never, what would you think? What would you say?
I'm actually a pagan, but I'm not one of those hardcore people where it's like I walk around with crystals and I walk around. Listen, it's not that intense. It's not that
Man,
intense. It barely
no,
comes
Yeah,
I
up.
work
man.
around crystals.
Yeah. I
It
can't
barely comes
eat
up.
the nonsense, man. I just
Well,
don't like
I
the Kool-Aid.
I can't take anything that seriously, man.
Yeah, man.
Like
Yeah.
it's
I
just
have
like
crystals.
it gets to the go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I have crystals.
I have no problem with that. I have no issue
What
with
they
that.
do?
My girl
Man, ever
does them
since I
too.
got them, my whole life has just completely did a whole U-turn.
What do the crystals do though, man?
Well, they all have different meanings. So
Like, give me a few.
yeah, but they all magnify your energy. They all help you heal. They help you protect. They help you see truth. They help you make sure that you won't walk into like it protects you energy wise, spiritual wise, and on this side time. And it has been protecting.
What I mean is by giving example, like tell me a crystal like amethyst or whatever the crystals that you think that are most valuable to you. Can you tell me a couple? Just give
You
me a
said
couple of them.
amethyst. That was the biggest one. Yes, that
Really?
one. That you better be ready for the shit that amethyst does, because I thought it was something like, oh, these are just rocks, and then I
I just
start actually getting them in my hands.
uh-huh.
My whole life, like that, it took out anybody that is not for me. Then it made me get out
Right.
of the all those jobs that was not helping me in spiritual wise.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
like what she said. She said amethyst is for the third eye, to open it, to awaken it, to see things that others won't see, which is right in front of their faces, but they don't. They were taught not to see it. They
I'm
literally put it in plain sight,
Damn, that's
but no
crazy. I
one
just
sees
threw
it.
that shit out there. I just threw it out there. Like I don't know why that one came to my mind. I just threw that shit right out there. Like, hey,
Them-
there you go. So you kind of believe in the Jesus and all that stuff, like the Jesus and maybe and even somebody like uh Krishna and they all play a part in some kind of way,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
Devil.
all the religions that they're following, their whole story is completely true, but it's told completely wrong.
Right.
I was
That's kind of
you,
where I'm
Devil.
at.
That's where you at?
That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. The main thing is, so I wasn't putting down crystals. It's mainly that different people do their craft differently. Like, so my girl, right, April, she does the crystal thing, right? And all I know is when I first met her, she was broke, and now she makes 14 grand in 1 week. Okay, so those crystals do something. I don't know what they do, but they do something. Because
They help you balance yourself. Like
Shit, I'm about to go find me some motherfucking amethyst,
I
motherfucker.
ain't gonna
but
lie,
no,
I'm
be
about to have me a
careful.
whole
Be
pocket of
careful.
them
You have
motherfuckers.
to
Yeah.
be ready. You're gonna think that you're gonna think something is bad is happening to you, and it's not. It
Mhm.
is putting you where you need to be.
It gets rid of fucked up people, right?
Yes, and
Go on and
jobs.
give
It
me
gets
some
rid of
amethyst.
everything. That's
I'm
Does
heading
it
to the
come in
store to
bullet
go pick
form?
that shit up. Get
it's
get
strong.
get these shitty motherfuckers out of my life, motherfucker. Here you go. Let
Yo,
me
I
get
need
that
a whole
crystal.
magazine on them freaking crystals in like bullet form, yo. I need a
Damn
whole
right,
magazine
man.
in
Start shooting the shit out of
I'm
motherfuckers, man.
starting to
Let
see
me
Christians taking
hit
some
your
of
ass.
the crystals. I'm like, dude,
Hit
be
your ass
careful
with this
too.
motherfucking rock.
Right.
I can't. I mean, it's not like I said. Everything that's from nature is not here for no reason. Everything has a reason. It's
I
why
believe
it's
that.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, like I remember when I was getting deep into my practice, I used to take some of the, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say I can say mushroom.
Yeah,
There was a certain
Mhm.
yeah.
type of mushroom, and I gotta say, man, I became a lot more spiritual. Like after that, I did. It changed me.
But like
Oh man,
That's why
that
they
was a
need you
journey.
to be illegal.
But like
They
what, 18
illegal
more
so they
hours? You
help
was
you.
spiritual as fuck for 18 hours, wasn't you? Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
spiritual as
man,
fuck.
that was wild.
Talking to the
Now, if
wolf.
you're now look, look,
Mm,
look. Now, if you really okay, if they see that you're ready to see the other side, if you take
Mhm.
shrooms or something again, and if they ask you like, "Are you ready to see something?" and if you said you
yeah,
are, you might put yourself in a place that you will not be able to come back from. So you have to
Who you
prepare.
telling that to? Like,
I
who would
said
you say that
anybody
to?
that wants to take shrooms, anybody that want to take shrooms or anything that's psychedelic that
Mm,
comes from nature and stuff, you have to be prepared because that's nature talking through whatever you're experiencing on.
that's all right.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm about to
Cause
go find.
DMT stuff
they
like
will
that.
tell
You,
you
you got to
stuff
be
that
real
you
careful.
won't like. Hmm
Yeah, and
They
they'll
will
and
tell
they're and
you
they're
things.
very honest. They're very honest too, man. Very honest. Like, and I don't think people are prepared for that level of honesty. Like I
Right.
remember when okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
yeah. Let's
guys,
be
I
easy.
think
Let's be easy.
we should cut the stream right there. It's been great. I'm gonna start up another stream. Angel, I'm gonna invite you both. We should cut the stream right there. I love you both.
Yes,
But
we
let's go ahead
will.
and head
I'll
out
see you
because
in a bit.
TikTok.
All right. Bye
All
bye.
right, peace.
Bye.